Hi, Lee. Welcome to our show.
Hello, Savannah. It's a pleasure to see you today.
Same.
On a lovely, nice, warm day in Nashville in February after the great storms.
Oh my gosh, so true. We need to unpack that.
Yes, it was the great storm.
You were without power for many days.
A week, yes, yeah.
What ended up happening with your weather? Was it your weather mast? Is that what it's called?
I think they call it a weather mast or a masthead or something for the electrical system. It got pulled off of our house. Yeah. So, yeah, we had it was like tornado zone in our neighborhood. Huge amounts of tree damage, roof damage, leak onto the ceiling in the living room damage.
Oh, so your pipes had
Whether
issues too?
electrical system had to be redone. No, our plumbing was fine, but
nice.
It was the leak from the roof, from the tree hitting the roof.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So, yeah, many thousands of dollars worth of tree work done. I think 13 grand so far is the count on tree work. So, a lot of, we're very sad. I mean, 2 humongous trees in our yard had to get taken down that surely were 80 plus years old. So,
It's so crushing.
yeah, it's very sad.
You can count the rings, right?
One could. I haven't, but one could. You're welcome. Come on over, Savannah.
I went through, you know how I get hyperfixated?
I've noticed that.
I do.
That you do
I went through a
sometimes.
big tree phase.
Well, this does not surprise me.
And some people theorize that you can guesstimate the age of a tree without cutting it open and counting the rings, because if you measure it and know the type of tree it is, and based on different branches, etc., you can deduce the age of trees.
Mm-hmm.
We used to live not long ago on 3 acres in the country with amazing trees. And so I went through a phase where I would spend hours outside measuring our trees.
Calculating.
I had
their
a whole
age.
list. I had a spreadsheet with the trees, the type of trees, and the potential age. But you're going to love this. Through this, I found out that one of our trees should be historically preserved and protected. And so I was able to turn it into like a conservation thing in Tennessee. And they basically were like, we'll come out and take a picture of it and put it on the cover of our next magazine. But then we
Hilarious.
moved. So I couldn't. But it is an amazing tree, over 100 years old.
Huh. Fascinating. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you should come check out our trees.
I really should, because I got into a big phase. I did.
But yeah, we're glad to have made it through the storm.
Same.
Yeah. Grateful for all the NES line workers and all that they did. Yeah. Yeah.
It was an impossible job.
Impossible job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am really grateful, though, to your point, that the weather has turned around.
Yes.
Because in January, in my mind, it feels like there's no God.
Well, you believe in that hell as cold. Yeah.
It's dark.
It was very sobering
So, oh my God, it's so
to be
true.
that cold.
Do you also have, like, what do they call it? SADS or whatever? Does the weather affect you?
Seasonal affective disorder.
Yes.
Maybe a touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I lived in South Bend, we would sometimes not see the sun for like 30 days, and it would really get to you. It was great for studying, but it was not good for one's
anything else.
affective disposition.
Yeah, I can't. That life would not be for me. Well, Lee, for our intro, I do want to read a couple of reviews.
Oh, okay.
And I actually don't think you've seen either of these.
Okay.
The first one was an email from a guy named David, and he is Australian, and he wrote in and commented with affirmation on our sports betting episode.
Okay.
Because in it, we talk about how the Australian government has basically said that gambling and sports betting has become an epidemic in their country. And he wrote in and was like, yes, this is a wild time. But I want to read the back half.
Okay.
He said, also, thank you for the subtext. I have enjoyed No Small Endeavor for several years, and initially, I was a bit skeptical on the subtext, which we love. But I have stuck at it and learned a lot and enjoy the banter. I can even shock my 2 20-something children with some up-to-the-moment knowledge on pop culture. So we're so happy, David, that we're giving you some clout with your kids.
Indeed, we are, David.
And
Excellent.
so grateful that you stuck in.
Lovely to hear from you. Yes.
Stuck in it with us. So we love David. And then this one is from someone named JJ Nash. This podcast is a perfect blend of deep, insightful conversations about key cultural issues combined with silly and playful humor that will bring you joy and make you smile every time you listen. The combination of Lee and Savannah is absolutely perfect. It's like if Gandalf from Lord of the Rings started a podcast with Glinda from Wicked.
Yeah, I certainly like that.
Don't you kind of love that? And then I don't know why I'm saying she. I don't know what JJ is, yes, but they are so fun together and they think deeply about important issues and always challenge me and stretch me while making me laugh at the same time. Don't you love that?
I do. Thank you, JJ. Yes, that's pretty sweet.
That should have been our tagline if we had thought about it from day one. The subtext. It's like if Glinda and Gandalf started a podcast.
And if you all could not have seen Savannah's face when she said that, you should go check the YouTube just for that.
I mean, it's our branding.
Yeah.
It's flawless.
Gandalf and Glinda.
Did you ever get into Lord of the Rings?
I read the whole, as I remember, I read most all of that to my two older sons the summer of 2005 when I was teaching study abroad in London. And magical. At long stretches of the time, I think I'd read some of it to them before we got there and we continued on that summer. But yeah.
That would have been when some of them were coming out, right? The movies.
The movies. Probably, yes. Yeah. I think that's right.
Like the early to mid 2000s.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You have to learn how to read Tolkien to kids because he just goes on and on and on about so much stuff. And then you just have to learn what to skip to get back to the plot. But yeah, it's a
labor-intensive read.
It's a very fond memory of me reading that to my boys.
And now you're Gandalf yourself. On that note, let's start the show.
Hey friend, if you didn't know, I started a newsletter a while back that comes out every 2 weeks. I've been delighted to hear from so many of you about positive response to the newsletter. We call it the No Small Endeavor Notebook, where I riff on themes and topics related to our podcast, giving you additional material for thinking and doing in your own quest to make sense of what it might mean to live a good life. Join us by going now to nosmallendeavor.com and sign up there. Again, go to nosmallendeavor.com to sign up now for our free No Small Endeavor Notebook newsletter.
Welcome to the Subtext, where we go beneath the headlines and beyond the obvious. Or should I say, welcome to the Subtext, where Glinda and Gandalf go beneath the headlines and beyond the obvious. I'm Savannah Law.
I'm Lee Camp.
If you like what we're doing and want to help us get the show in front of more people, please do us a favor by following and rating it wherever you listen. If you leave us a review, we might read it on the show like we did today. Give us 5 stars, hype us up. If you want to watch full video episodes, you can find that on YouTube and Spotify. You can follow the show at The Subtext Show, me at Savannah_Locke, and Lee at Lee C. Camp. And lastly, if you have any questions or suggestions for the show, just DM us on Instagram at The Subtext Show. All right, Lee, we have 2 segments today.
2 segments. It's pretty exciting.
Sometimes we go in with the best of intentions of achieving 2 separate things, but we get locked in on the first and keep rambling. So your job today
is to catch us on time. All right, I'm locking it in. I'm good.
Let's go. Keep us on one segment for 15 minutes and another for 15, and we'll be done.
Got it.
So we have one segment on Valentine's Day, love-themed, just for fun.
Yes.
And then the second one is on recapping the Super Bowl. What do you want to do first?
Super Bowl.
Okay, great. Did you watch it?
I did, yes.
Were you happy with the outcome?
I was happy with the outcome because Laura and I were at a party with some of our best friends, and it's always a very fun party, and so we had a great party.
Oh, but like you didn't care about the teams?
I didn't know who was in the Super Bowl until yesterday at lunch when I asked my brother.
Low investment.
Yeah.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
I knew who was playing because since I was born in Boston, my family are big Patriots fans. And my dad and my brother flew to California to see the Super Bowl.
Oh, like yesterday or this weekend. They were there yesterday.
So I knew who was playing. But personally, I don't care.
Yeah. So, yes, I was very pleased with the outcome.
Let's talk about the music because I thought from start to finish it was iconic.
It certainly seemed iconic.
How did you feel about it? I'm not just talking halftime. I'm talking pregame. I'm
Yes.
talking Green Day, Coco Jones, Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah. Well, I missed Green Day's performance, but I heard about it, and so that would be great to talk about. I saw Brandy Carlisle's, and she was stellar, of course, as always. And then, of course, Bad Bunny was very interesting.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you thought. I can't wait. What was your take? You got to watch Green Day afterwards, correct?
I had someone read me the lyrics of their song.
Tell me your connection in general to Green Day. So I grew up with Green Day.
Yeah. I've listened to them a little bit through the years, but I've never probably invested what I should in Green Day.
Oh my God. Okay, so I love Green Day, have since I was in middle school because I was emo. And so
You were what?
Emo.
Oh, got it.
So
That means emotional.
Well, no. Emo was also a brand of kid.
A
in
brand
my
of
era.
kid?
Yes. So like to be emo was to be like the hair that was like kind of really intense side part, all dyed black.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes girls would wear like these vests and little ties, skinny jeans.
Interesting. And that was all
I guess
the
none of your kids were
emo.
emo.
No.
Well, emo kids listened to Green Day, and that was
Got
me. And I was thrilled that they were the pregame opener. I was like, I don't know who the target demographic was for this, but they're
But it
hitting
pulled
me,
you
and
in,
I'm
yes.
thrilled. Yes. So what lyrics were read to you that you were intrigued by?
Well, it was like they were singing to today.
American Idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, 22 years ago or so that song came out?
2004.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I just thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, the piece about the media.
Yeah.
In case anyone does not know this song, this is what the lyrics are. And just envision me, all dyed black hair, intense side part, truly with a little tie on, jamming out to this song. Don't want to be an American idiot. Don't want a nation under the new media. And can you hear the sound of hysteria? The subliminal mind, I won't say the word, America. I had to listen to the edited version.
I bet you did.
But true, it feels very timely for today, too.
It feels very timely.
And bold for them to sing.
And bold.
And then Brandy
And
Carlisle.
I do wonder if like the network got editorial input on the songs that they were going to sing, or their contract just says, we'll show up and we'll sing the song that we want to sing.
So curious. I know.
Yeah, that would be fascinating to know.
I would be interested as well.
Yeah.
And then Brandy was amazing. Coco was awesome. And then Charlie Puth sang the national anthem, which sounded great. He's a really, really talented musician. So then Bad Bunny is what everyone was talking about.
Yeah.
Talk me through what your experience was like watching it.
Well, I mean, my experience was that I am not bilingual. And so, of course, I was wondering all along, what is he saying? And so I knew that I was missing a great deal. But obviously the staging, or well, I don't know what you call a stage on a football field, but the set perhaps was incredible and was fascinating. And it was like watching a movie scene being taped. I felt like that was just really impressive. So I felt ignorant and didn't really know what was going on, except to be impressed with the feat that was being performed in front of me.
It was executed flawlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. Did you have time later to go through and read some of the lyrics and try to understand some of the imagery?
Yes. It seems like the Super Bowl halftime show, at least in recent memory, if not in a long time, has been often hypersexualized. And I think that certainly you see that in a lot of his music. And yet at the same time, along with that hypersexualization, that doesn't personally help me a lot. I thought that there was a sort of celebration, a larger celebration of his cultural, the cultural milieu to which he's bearing witness and celebrating, felt fun and delightful and enjoyable to watch and get to see and make sense of. And I also thought that what he did with God Bless America at the end was also quite helpful and very compelling. And I learned, for those who didn't watch it, I think the only English words he said were "God bless America," and then he starts at the southern tip of South America and names all the countries up through South America, Central America, North America, all the way up to Canada.
Yeah.
And then comes back around to Puerto Rico, his homeland, and a U.S. territory. And so I think that, I was always, it was never sufficiently brought to my attention of the narrowness with which people who hold a U.S. passport use the word America until I spent a semester teaching in Santiago, Chile. And they reminded me, hey, you don't own the word America. You don't own the name America. We're all Americans. And so, again, that was just this kind of push and this kind of shove to say, can't we celebrate the beauty of our neighbors north and south and be grateful about that. So I thought that was a great move, classy
It was
move.
such a beautiful ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
What did you think about it all?
It was nice having all of those countries named. Well, you know a little bit about this, but Puerto Rico has played a fairly large part in my whole childhood. My grandparents met in Puerto Rico. My mom spent years there when she was a child. She's fluent in Spanish. My uncle married a Puerto Rican woman. Her sister ended up becoming a part of our family. Their parents ended up becoming a part of our family. And so, even in my family culture, I'm not Aunt Savannah. I'm Titi, which is the slang in Puerto Rico for aunt.
Titi.
Yeah, Titi. And so actually Bad Bunny's first song was, I think, called Titi Me Pregunta or Me Pregunta or whatever. And it's like, my auntie asked me these questions.
Yeah.
And so with Titi, it's very much part of how I grew up. And I was in Puerto Rican weddings.
Huh.
So when I was watching it, I think it made me realize how all of my associations of Puerto Rico are so positive. I was like, this is awesome. And it felt really fun and collective and communal and family-centered. And there was this one moment where an older man was twirling a young girl for the wedding celebration. And it brought me back to when I was a flower girl in my uncle and aunt's wedding. And her Puerto Rican dad twirled me around at their wedding. And seeing that was like a reminder. And I actually just saw him and his wife in downtown Franklin a couple of months ago. And when I walked out of anthropology, he ran up to me and he grabbed my hand and twirled me around too. Yeah, so there's this dancing piece that felt really fun. And yeah, all of my associations are so positive that it just felt really fun and true to, obviously it's not my culture, but I have been influenced by that and it was magical to me. Yeah, I hear you on the sexualization piece. I think I also have no idea what was being said. But I also don't have a negative stigma around Spanish because I grew up, once again, my mom is fluent and both of my aunts were fluent in Spanish. So I always heard Spanish being spoken. And I think a lot of people struggled with not being, in a negative way, not having captions or translations or whatever. And maybe they felt excluded by that. So I was fine not knowing what was going on though.
Well, yeah, I certainly hope that I didn't communicate that I wasn't okay with it being in Spanish.
1,000,000%. I did not hear that, but I was just saying that some people, when I was reading responses online, really struggled with the fact that it wasn't in English.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, well, first of all, I've spent enough time in context where I literally do not know the language.
Yeah.
That's been some of the most adventuresome times in my life. And I kind of like being in context where I don't really know exactly what's being said or going on because it gives you a new set of lenses to pay attention and perk up and engage, And so I didn't feel negative feelings about it. It was more curiosity of wanting to know, okay, what's being said and what's going on here. So
yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about? Because I was wondering, even as I said what I said about the hypersexual, what's the word I'm looking for?
Hypersexualization.
It being hypersexualized. Is there a part of my own comment about that as a, late middle-aged white guy raised in the Bible Belt that just is missing something or sounds bigoted by even raising that?
It does not sound bigoted to me. I think part of it, and once again, I'm not speaking, I can only speak on behalf of myself, but what it brings up for me, even with the gals in the front when he was singing the song about twerking, my aunts who were very conservative Christian women, okay, 100% would dance like that. So I do wonder if there's like a cultural piece there too that is missing. I don't know. So I wouldn't take like a stand and say like, this is what I think or it isn't hypersexual. I have no idea. But when I saw it, I was just like, this is fun. And that's kind of how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
But I also know that I wouldn't be like the target demographic for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sexualization is not aimed in my direction.
Yeah.
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 Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I did love, though, to go on to like more of like the imagery piece.
Yeah.
I loved that it started in the sugarcane fields because that pays homage to like Puerto Rican agricultural history, et cetera. And it felt like it told just this very interesting story for him of like going from Puerto Rico to then there was a song about him spending a summer in New York. And that's where it all of a sudden turned into like In the Heights by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Did you ever watch that movie?
No.
Okay, well, that was very In the Heights coded. So when they got to like the city scenes, and so I felt like it was kind of taking them on this journey of like Puerto Rican like migration patterns and all that, which I thought was really interesting as well.
Very interesting. Tell me more.
The electrical pulse.
Yeah.
I did not know what that was about.
I assume that was about the hurricane.
About Hurricane Maria.
Yeah.
Yes. That was kind of paying attention to the fact that like there was not a lot of FEMA aid sent after Hurricane Maria, and they were out of power for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think their like schools had to shut down for months and all of that. So yeah, it felt to me, I think what I liked about it was that Bad Bunny, with all of the negative attention, really could have turned around and given the middle finger to people. But instead, it felt like he chose joy and like celebration. That was my interpretation.
Yeah.
But talk to me about any other thoughts, concerns, experiences that you had.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of it goes back to the gifts I've gotten to be given in the academic world of, I find, the old line about from Augustine, at least is cited to Augustine about the world is a book and those who do not travel read only one page or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I've thought about so much of various cultural encounters is that you just get, if you can just be open to a variety of cultural inputs, your life's just richer and it's more fun and it's more enjoyable. And it's like everything, right? Take what you can use and leave the rest. And lean into what's beautiful and good and true and lovely, and let the stuff alone that you can't take with you and don't abide, and move on, and let's play ball.
Hello, friends. Lee Seacamp here. Do you ever wish you had more folks to discuss the conversations we offer on No Small Endeavor? Something like a podcast listening club where you could engage big ideas about what it means to live life well and then discuss it with friends and companions? If so, you have stumbled upon the announcement you have been waiting for. We're pleased to announce the start of Endeavor Together, our new initiative that equips and nurtures close-knit communities to talk about the things you actually want to talk about. Each small group conversation series is built upon our podcast content and provides you with super easy to use content with questions, videos, links, and guidance so that you or any good and willing soul can host small group conversations exploring what it means to live a good life. Maybe you'll meet in homes around a table, maybe in a coffee shop or local park, maybe at work during lunch hour, maybe in a church Sunday school class. What we are providing is the scaffolding for good conversation. The rest is up to you. And here's the best part. Thanks to generous support from the Lilly Endowment, it's free. The first two series have been released. The first, Let's Disagree Better, and the second, Vulnerability. Get started today. Visit NoSmallEndeavor.com and click on Endeavor Together. Again, go to NoSmallEndeavor.com and click on Endeavor Together. Enjoy.
Let's play ball. Yeah. So you're just basically, it sounds like you're saying like, this was a fun cultural expression.
Yeah.
Take the good.
Yeah.
And don't be stressed about the negative.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, I'll go with that. I think that's awesome. Okay, let's talk about the alternative, the Super Bowl halftime show, the All-American halftime show. Did you get to watch it, or am I the only one who did?
I have not watched it.
Okay, well, I wrote the whole set list out for you.
Oh, good. Okay.
On our brief. So the All-American halftime show was put on by Turning Point USA. It was pre-recorded in a studio in Atlanta.
Oh, pre-recorded. Okay.
And had maybe... my guess is around 150 people.
Okay.
And my other guess is also that it was not actually filmed all at the same time. It seemed a little pieced together. So I think that they probably brought in different performers and then just pieced it together with like transitions. It started with Jimi Hendrix electric guitar solo. Not him playing, but a person playing it like Jimmy did. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The one at Woodstock? The famous one at Woodstock?
Yes, that's how the whole show started.
Of God Bless America? Or is it?
Of the national anthem.
Of the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. One of the greatest guitar performances in the history of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started with that.
Yeah.
One of Brittany Gilbert's.
That is so freaking ironic to me.
Oh my God, I knew you were going to have a strong opinion about it.
That's wild.
I knew you were going to have a strong opinion. Is it wild because he did it for an opposite reason? Jimmy?
Well, certainly, I mean, we'll let the musicologist correct me, but my interpretation of that, it being at Woodstock.
Yes.
And being who he was, I always interpreted that masterful performance as lament.
Right. Against war. Vietnam.
Yeah. And so it's like, it was a sort of implicit critique of the powers that be and celebration of empire and celebration of what these days we call MAGA. Mm-hmm. So that just like blows my mind of what?
It felt like a very bold move to me as well to start that way. Yeah, but that's how they did it. So that's how they started. And then up on the stage comes a country artist called Brantley Gilbert. And the first thing he says is, "Welcome to the All-American Halftime Show. This is Real American." And then he plays his song, Real American. And so Brantley then has Real American, which talks about, I wish you could go through some of these lyrics because I think you'd find them to be very interesting, but I'm trying to keep us on track. Very fascinating view of what it means to be American. And then he sings a song called Dirt Road Anthem, which is about drunk driving, which I was fascinated with. I was like, this, it was just not what I was expecting. So I will say, I don't have a dog in this fight. I am not a country gal. And I'm also like with Bad Bunny. I heard of Bad Bunny 3 years ago for the first time, even though he's had a huge career for many years. So I am not a diehard in any musical direction in these things. So Brantley's Dirt Road Anthem being a drunk driving was fascinating. Okay, then a gal named Gabby Barrett comes on stage and sings 2 songs. Her voice was unbelievable. So I think she was on American Idol.
Unbelievably good.
So good.
Yeah.
She was definitely the best to me out of everyone vocally.
And what's her name again?
Gabby Barrett.
Okay.
And she sang 2 songs that were kind of like heartbreak songs. So this is one of my interesting comparisons of both of them, is that Bad Bunny was hype celebration the whole time. This All-American halftime show was not. So it was very mid-tempo and some heartbreak songs as well, which was interesting. So Gabby sings 2 songs. Then a guy named Lee Brice, who is another country artist, comes on stage. He sings this song called Drinking Class.
Drinking class?
Yes.
As in?
I belong to the drinking class.
Okay.
Monday through Friday, man, we bust our backs. If you're one of us, raise your glass. I belong to the drinking class. There was a lot of drinking and alcohol references, which I think might be true of new country music in general. Right. And then here is what I want to get to. So Lee Brice then speaks. So up to this point, no one has spoken. And he says, Charlie, referring to Charlie Kirk, he gave people microphones so that they could say what's on their mind. This is what's on mine. And then he goes into a song that is going to come out soon called Country Nowadays. I'm just going to read you some of these lyrics. Have you read these yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm very interested to see what you see. I just want to catch my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer, and not wake up to all this stuff I don't want to hear. Like the same kind of gun I hunt with just killed another man. The only thing mine ever shot was a deer from my deer stand. I just want to cut my grass, feed my dogs, wear my boots, not turn the TV on, sit and watch the evening news, be told if I tell my own daughter that little boys ain't little girls, I'd be up the creek in hot water in this cancel your blank world. And then the chorus is, it ain't easy being country in this country nowadays. It was by far the most political part. So everything else to me, not political, including a Bad Bunny's. Like I felt like he did not really do anything political. And with this, it didn't feel political or politically charged or anything until this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think that we all would like to not have to listen to what's on the news,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was raised country and Southern,
mm-hmm.
and I've shot guns
Mm-hmm.
and learned how to hunt and wore cowboy boots and talked Southern. And
You do talk Southern.
And
Can
they tell
confirm.
me that I still do. And, you know, love the Alabama hills and the red dirt and country music. And I like drinking beer as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that, you know, that it's that sort of, in some ways, I would dare to even say, what's this gentleman's name?
Lee Bryce.
Lee Bryce. I would dare even say that there are part of the lyrics there that he depicts that's something like Isaiah 65. And let somebody work hard and enjoy the fruits of their labor. And let every old man sit under his own vine, his own fig tree in the house that he built, and somebody else not come in and take over his house. And yet there's a sort of naivete to that, in my perspective, in that if that's all it were about, then fine. But there's a sort of, everybody's not getting left alone to live their life. And there's a lot of people that are being rooted out of their work that they've done with their lives and are being dispossessed. And in the name of, you know, best we can tell, in the name of law and order and in the name of Southern values or whatever the case may be. And so I guess I would say, generally speaking, that strikes me as, it makes me sad, because it's like there's a sort of elements of what he said. There's something that's true about it, that's what a lot of us want, right? But it does not strike me as honest because of how much it leaves unsaid and doesn't take account of power. And that's what so often happens, is that we can talk about freedom in such a way where you don't talk about power and the people that are getting stomped on by power. And that's another thing I learned in the South. And that is to care about people who are getting stomped on by power. And that's one of the things that we, you know, at its best, Southern conservatism was about, you don't want overweening, overbearing, bureaucratic power breathing down your neck and pushing you around and being a bully. And I'm still that kind of conservative, right? But when you sing about that kind of stuff, and there are ways in which that kind of stuff is being co-opted into stomping on a lot of people, that's what makes me sad.
That's a beautiful analysis.
What do you do with it?
I think that your analysis is much more beautiful than mine. Because I was kind of following the whole show until then. I was like, yeah, sure. Like, they're wanting to do country music, whatever. Who cares? And then I think with this, I was like, you're not a victim. Like, stop. So that's what I was thinking in my mind of, it actually is easy being country in this country right now. Like it is easy to do those things. And I'm not saying the way that you're saying country or traditional conservatism or whatever, but like this current brand has its own halftime show because it's easy being this way, because there's money behind it, because there's power behind it. The person who introduced this entire show was Pete Hegseth. The guy who's in charge of the Department of War. So there is tremendous power behind this machine. And so I think there was part of me that wanted to be like, read the room, my guy. Like it is. You're fine. No one is persecuting you for thinking this way or for, hunting deer from your deer stand. So my take was not as generous is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I was a little eye-rolly.
Yeah.
And that's on me. That's my bad attitude.
No.
Lee Brice then finished with Hard to Love, and then let's close out with this. Kid Rock came on stage. Okay, so Kid Rock has his song. How do you say it?
I don't know anything about any. I don't know that I've ever heard a single Kid Rock song.
Bawitdaba. I don't know how to say it, and it's spelled Bawitdaba. Bawitdaba. It is gibberish. So, and it's intended to be gibberish, and all of the lyrics are gibberish until you get to the verse. So the chorus is...
Can we back up just a second?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to show yet again my complete pop culture illiteracy. What genre of music is Kid Rock?
Kid Rock is like hip hop and rap, but then also randomly country.
Okay.
And some metal.
Okay.
Like he's a lot of things.
Okay. But he made his name in rock and rap.
Hip hop.
Okay.
Hip hop metal.
Hip hop metal. Okay.
This song is his breakout.
Okay.
So I don't know how to pronounce that word is the point, but he does that song. And then he goes off of stage and there is a violin and cello interlude with a man who is dressed kind of like Captain Hook, which I was confused about. I don't know why he was dressed that way. So they have this very long interlude and then Kid Rock comes back out, but dressed entirely different than he was before. And these men introduce him as Robert Ritchie, which is his birth name. So I guess now he has two personas. So he comes out then as Robert Ritchie to close the whole evening with a song called Till You Can't, which is a big country song by a guy named Cody Johnson, I believe. And he adds a verse to the end of this song just for the show. So the song Till You Can't is basically saying, like, you can tell your dad you're too busy to hang out with him until you can't. Because your dad's gone. And it's like, you got to take this chance and you've got to go for it. Like, that's the whole theme of the song. And then Kid Rock, a.k.a. Robert Ritchie, adds this verse at the end. And it gets a round of applause and standing ovation. There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man that died for all our sins hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus and he'll give you a second chance till you can't. And that was how they ended the show. Well, then they went into this Charlie Kirk memorial, but before that, they ended the show like that. Which I felt like was a pretty strong theological viewpoint.
What do you do, what do you do with that in that context?
It's a strong point of view.
Well, it is, yeah, but that's not answering my question. It is a strong point of view, but what do you make of that message, that particular element of the message within its context?
I have not formulated opinion, but I will say what I saw people doing with it, which is that the conservative Christian influencers who supported this show said that the gospel was proclaimed. And it was because of that verse. And I am curious if that is why that verse was there. Because the rest of the show, objectively, I watched it twice and read through the lyrics. Like, I'm not saying it was bad or worse than Bad Bunny's lyrics, like literally at all. But they wasn't Christian until that one part. So I'm curious if that's why that was lodged in. What are your thoughts?
Well, I didn't know that we were going to talk about this. So you're definitely getting my fresh take, which I'm a little nervous about. I think that one could say that is let me try this. I think that...
Don't be scared.
No,
Just jump in.
No, I'm not scared. I'm just trying to to be truthful. I think that it's interesting that if one thinks of that as a proclamation of the gospel, within that context, one could say that it does seem to me that that is the way that a lot of American evangelicalism has defined the gospel, is just that little bit of the biblical narrative being thrown in as one verse in a country song.
Yeah.
In all of that context. And also within the larger context of this being depicted as a sort of critique of, as I read the cultural moment, right, it was about America, and it was about we don't want Spanish speakers doing our halftime show. And so if the larger context is about Make America Great Again, and the larger context is about we're pissed off about having to listen to a Spanish speaker do his song in the middle of the Super Bowl, then you ask yourself the question, well, have we read the whole of the narrative of the Bible and the whole of the narrative of the New Testament, which is very, 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 very clear, is about breaking down boundaries of hostility between people groups, not celebrating them.
Right.
And the border, there are things I love about America or the United States of America, and there are things that I find very horrible about the history of the United States of America. But the boundary that makes the United States of America is a historical accident. And it's a historical accident that happened in large part because of a lot of imperialism. And so if the moment is about America being great, and if the historical moment is about English and a particular subculture of our being the deer hunting Southern boys, whom I love because I come from them, that is not the gospel.
Yeah.
That is one cultural, very small cultural claim about the gospel, and it's not the gospel. I think that's what I think about it.
I think what I've been struggling with is in the last 24 hours, seeing different conservative Christians praising this halftime show by saying that the gospel was proclaimed, comparing it to Bad Bunny's, which a lot of these conservative influencers have been calling it degenerate, what Bad Bunny did. I don't know why that is the word currently that they're using, but that was the word. I think that I have been trying to take a step back, first of all, and name my own biases, which are so real. And then second of all, articulate what you just articulated really well, which is that if that is the gospel, it's narrow. It's a narrow view of the gospel. And I'm not saying that it isn't true on some level, but it's not the whole truth. And I think when I was watching Bad Bunny's performance, which isn't intended to be Christian, it's not intended to be a commentary on faith or whatever, but I was kind of moved at the end with all of the flags coming out. And it did bring to mind like every tribe and every tongue and every nation, and how it did kind of paint these different visions or imaginations for greatness and belonging. And I'm not trying to do tit for tat because they weren't even intended to be the same things. But what you're saying is helping me clarify the tension that I was feeling, which is that when I was watching Bad Bunny's view, I'm like, I'm kind of hoping that the end game of Christianity is more along the lines of that.
More along the lines of Bad Bunny's.
Of everyone getting together and dancing.
Bad Bunny's eschatology versus... Yeah.
Bad Bunny's eschatology of like generations dancing together and food and celebration and joy versus, 3 men and 1 woman singing sad songs on a stage to 150 people. I think that there was something, the vision there felt so narrow. And I think, in a less fancy way, I agree with what you were saying. And I think in contrast to Bad Bunny's vision and imagination for everything, I was like, I kind of hope that there's more truth in that side. What is your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, I am fascinated with this, and I just think this is really interesting.
Really?
We are in such an interesting cultural moment.
Are we not? I know.
Yes.
And I don't want to come down too hard on anything either. Like I want you to know when I watched this All-American Halftime Show, I literally went in wanting to believe the best. And I did. Like I see, especially that gal was iconic. Like she was so talented. And I see the need almost that it's meeting. But I think that when I back out, I'm like, we've lost our way. Like when I zoom out and even see that it exists, it makes me sad and it makes me feel like we've lost our way and our path.
Yeah. I think that's a good place for us to end because I was supposed to stop us at a long time ago.
Lee, it's your one responsibility to
My
keep
one
us on
responsibility.
time.
But I'm
then,
so glad I didn't stop us because that was really interesting.
And now Bad Bunny has an eschatology. He doesn't even know that.
We all have an eschatology deep within us.
An eschatological vision.
That's right.
Lee, your one job was to keep us
My
on
one
time.
job, I failed us, and I'm so pleased I failed us.
What's a solution?
To end this show right here, this episode right here, and we'll come back for a Valentine's Day special that will drop. I think let's just drop it on Valentine's Day.
See you then.
See you then.